to Living with the Landspeeder, where we Star Warsify Disney parks one attraction at a time. I'm your host, Ryan, joined by my good pal, Katrin, and my other good pal, Derek. Welcome back to the show. We have a very special guest tonight. Have we been back? We've been back since
Yes, we have
Christmas.
been.
Yes. Yeah. The weeks are running together. Dogs are living with cats. It's crazy.
Our pets' heads are falling off.
What?
No Dumb and Dumber. Well, oh my gosh. All right, we're moving on.
I was doing Ghostbusters. You went to Dumb and Dumber. It's okay. Mm-hmm. This is not a Ghostbusters podcast or Dumb and Dumber podcast. It's sort of Dumb and Dumber sometimes.
It's a lot Dumb and Dumber. Actually.
Yeah, but welcome. We have Ron from Star Wars Jedi Chat podcast here tonight. You can find that on YouTube. Welcome, Ron, to this crazy show that we're doing tonight.
Hello there. What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me. I really appreciate you bringing me on here, and it's a cool podcast. Me and Derek go way back, and told me about it. I've watched a bunch of them, and I think it's really cool to bring that Disney ride thing and turn it into a Star Wars thing. Obviously, that we all have a passion for. Everybody's looking at our backgrounds here, and it's not even the fake ones. This is all real stuff.
Yeah,
all four of us are married.
Wait, what?
We're not nerds living in our
real
parents' house.
Right. Oh! See, this is how slow I am. I'm not called medicine.
To each other?
Married to each other? What are you talking about? No, we are.
This podcast, we are married.
We all have beautiful wives.
Yeah.
Right. Oh Lord Almighty!
That make us put all our Star Wars stuff in a room. Probably, or at least me.
Well, no, not Ron. Ron has so like he said, him and I go way back. Our wives work together, and that's how we met. And we were at like a work Christmas party for them. And he's got tattoos all over. And I saw Star Wars tattoos and Muppets. And then we started talking, and then I was like, he's a Miami Dolphins fan too, and Star Wars. I'm like, this is the coolest guy I've ever met in my life. So, and now he plays harmonica. Ron does just about everything.
We all play harmonica.
We're all musicians too.
We do.
Yeah. Well, I don't play harmonica.
Oh, you don't?
No, I just created one so I didn't have to learn.
That's amazing.
That's
you play everything else, so that's
yeah, exactly. Not well, but I do it.
Yeah, well, it's okay.
But Ron has a full museum in his basement. It's amazing. It's one of the coolest Star Wars setups I've seen.
You have Mark Hamill down there?
You have Mark Hamill? Yes.
Young or old? Which one?
Two of him.
Oh, man. All right. So welcome tonight. And first off, thank you for actually listening and watching the show. That means a lot.
Yeah.
No, it's fun. It's cool.
So you're familiar. If this is your first time listening or watching, what we do is we take a Disney attraction and then we Star Warsify it, which means we turn it into a Star Wars ride, basically. So tonight we're doing drum roll. Yeah,
wait, I have one of those. Hold on.
Oh, you have one of those?
Yes,
I was just kidding.
Here we go. Oh, that's the wrong one.
We're so professional.
Either. Oh well.
I have a real snare drum. Can I just get it out? It's right
I'll tell a joke later,
and
you can put that in at the end.
I'll put it in there.
There you go. Sounds great.
There we go. We're doing Expedition Everest because you know what? I'm in the winter storm of 2024 down here in Houston. Ooh. Oh man, let me tell you, it's been crazy.
What is it like 50 there?
We've got like 3 feet of snow in Iowa. This is awful. I moved back to the Midwest, and we get like the third worst snow in record.
It's wintertime. There's people having snow. We had slush for a tiny bit, and my kids went crazy because it was like slush falling from the sky, and they're like, "It's snowing." I'm like, "Well, you can believe that because we live in Texas."
Yes.
So we're going back to Animal Kingdom. We've been there before. Going back to the Animal Kingdom, we're going to do Expedition Everest. This may be that, but people may be thinking, what?
We'll have conquered this area of Animal Kingdom with Cali, River Rapids, and now
Expedition
Everest.
Yeah, and if you really want to go into, we also did the safari. So
And the safaris, yes, I forgot.
And we did dinosaur.
Well,
We're about done with the Animal Kingdom.
wow, let's
We're
just
getting
knock
close.
it out. Let's get it quick.
we have not
that'd be
touched
great.
Pandora yet.
You're still
Yeah, I got
bugged
Pandora.
there.
But for those listening, you may think, well, this may be the episode that everybody does the same thing. You may think that. You may think, oh, well, they're
Very
all
obvious.
going to one certain location because of the snow. But I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see.
Oh, let's find out. I'll go first.
You go first.
Yeah.
What?
But what's been
Yes.
great, even if we have people that pick the same one, there's at least some sort of difference, right? There's a different twist to it that makes it just enough different and still interesting. Like we had last week, both Ryan and I talked about ours was about Felucia, and but it was different. It was totally different stories, so that's okay.
I see a tauntaun. Well, so I'll kick it off because I have my amazing Galaxy's Edge lightsaber here, but not just to show off like how great this is. It has something special in here.
Oh, what's inside?
A fuzzy tauntaun
What? What?
kyber crystal.
How in the
What?
world?
It's
How
the
would you get one of
drink.
those?
I got one from my good friends at I Am Geek
Shop on Etsy.
shop. Yeah. So Ryan made me
The fresh maker.
the fresh maker. It's my favorite drink at Oga's is the fuzzy tauntaun. And so Ryan made me a fuzzy tauntaun kyber crystal that's in here right now. But not only do I have a tauntaun,
Oh, I see.
but
something.
if you look at this, it's the Wampa. So these
is.
were sold at Galaxy's Edge. My amazing wife got me one of those. So this is like the perfect lightsaber today because we're traveling to Hoth. And you know, mine's I finally wanted to give the people what they want. I'm always trying to find really crazy ideas and stuff, as we all remember from Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast.
The infamous Beauty and the Beast episode. But I just want to keep it simple and go to Hoth, and we're going through the Rebel base. And once you get through the queue in the Rebel base, you start to load the ride. And the ride isn't actually a tauntaun, like you know would be the easy thing, but you are on a speeder, and you're trying to find a new place to escape to on Hoth because the Empire's coming. You know they're coming. You got to find something else. So while you're out there, you're going, you start going faster through the hills because it's really cold. You got to get in there. You got to get back to the base before you freeze. And then you see the Wampa. And he comes after you. And so you start heading backwards on the track. And then, because this is a re-theme and a refurbish, the Wampa is actually working in A mode. He's not disco Wampa. He is full-on Wampa. And then you finish the ride. You feel great because the whole building didn't collapse as intended, like it was supposed to from the beginning. And you get done and you exit through the gift shop. And what is in the gift shop? None other than I Am Geek shop kyber crystal.
I've been bought out by Disney.
You have. And it's perfect because I started making my kyber crystal case. I have it taken apart right now, but you get the idea. I will have it. Oh, there we go. So this will hold kyber crystals, and then this will like retract, and very fun little project.
Want a funny story about that?
Well, I thought that you were making those, and I asked if you could send me one.
No, about
True.
the case. I was one of the first people that made one of those and took it to Galaxy's Edge. But I never sold them. I just made me one. And then other people are making them at the time, but I was like right at the beginning of it.
Yeah, and I asked if you'd make me one. You're like, I don't sell those. And I was like, I didn't ask.
I can make you.
Who
Who
are
you
you?
ask me? I can make you one right now.
One of the first times we talked when you were talking about the shop and your kyber crystals, like, yeah, I have your shop saved because I'm a fangirl of Ryan.
What's that fuzzy tauntaun look like for the viewers? I mean, they don't know.
I have to take it out.
Yes.
Come on, man. This is Bush League.
I've got
some. One?
I've got some sitting right over there.
You make them.
Hold on.
This guy is
Just
Bush
talk.
League. Talk amongst yourselves. Rhode Island's neither a road. I'm already done. Rhode Island's neither a road nor an island. Here it is. This is it. This is the fuzzy tauntaun. Yeah, it's the yellow drink. I I don't have
That's
my
the
camera
only-
set to refocus because it's a Panasonic and their focus is terrible.
That's the only one I've had, and it does make your mouth kind of feel fuzzy.
Oh,
It does.
I got it
That's
out.
good.
You didn't have to get it out.
Oh,
I said, hold
Yeah.
on, I'll get it.
You put it in your mouth. That's how
glows
you
in the
know.
dark.
That's right. It's a really neat feature.
It does. It glows
is that
in the
a bad
dark.
time to mention my hat?
Have you noticed that it glows in the dark?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd show that too, but
Can't do that. It's fine.
no, it's okay. So there you go. Simple, but
Yeah, I like it.
simple but classic.
It's what the people want.
But
That's
a
what
little
everybody thinks
different.
of.
A little
What
different.
kind of speeder? What kind of speeder are you like taking on the voyage?
A living with the land speed.
Of course.
Of course. Duh.
I mean, like, okay. I didn't know if you were doing a speeder bike or a speeder like
either that or the mopeds.
Oh no!
Yeah, red, green, yellow.
Wow.
Ron
is like, I know I'm friends with Derek, but why did I come on the show?
Well, and Ron and I, like when the last episode of was season 2, when Luke came in, Ron came over to my house when I still had the studio outside, and I had the projector on, and he brought donuts and coffee, and it was like 5:30 in the morning, and it was amazing. We had the stereo going, or like my system for my audio recording was on. Oh,
that was cool.
The good old days,
top notch.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Well, that leads into Ron. Man, let's have you give it a shot.
All right, I'm gonna try here. I'm gonna use toys. I'm gonna use effects. I'm gonna do a whole bunch of.
This is gonna be so much better
you
than
go.
Just to bring in well, I don't know about effects, but so I'm also gonna do Hoth, like Derek did, and we're gonna call it Expedition Hoth. So we're gonna sort of stick with that, So, and when you walk into the pre area there before you even get into the ride, there's gonna be stables and stuff, and you're gonna have tauntauns there, stuff like that, just hanging out. You'll be able to see them. You might have Han in the back there. See Han? You might have Han hanging out. See him on the tauntaun before he heads out. And then once you get through that area and you get into the ride, we're going to go on a speeder, a snow speeder. So that's what you'll get into.
Okay.
So, hopefully it'll be a little bit bigger. And a little bit bigger than this one right here.
It's like my pile of Millennium Falcons that I have over here.
Right.
There's only 4, but
so once you get in, you get strapped in, and again we're gonna take off like Derek said, same type of thing. We're gonna be on Hoth. So once you get into the ride, there's gonna be the snow. Once you get climbing up, you'll see the snow, a little bit of the stuff going on. But then once we get up into where we're gonna take off, you're gonna have a whole bunch of different things going on as we go through and wind around on the roller coaster into it. And also, there's also 2 stops on this. So we all actually go all the way through. You'll see some more tauntauns, stuff like that. You'll also see, Luke, in the snow with a little bit of, Ben, Ghost Ben, talking about Dagobah. You'll see a little bit of that. But the main thing, once you get up to that first stop, you will see Luke with the Wampa. So we want to see that nice little. Where is he there? With the blood on him.
Got a little blood on his mouth.
I love it. It's ketchup.
So,
and
then you still have the old one, the OG.
Look at that one.
Yeah, that's the OG right there.
Wow.
So you'll see him. He'll be hanging out. Get it, hanging out. So,
I told you, Ron has cool toys.
It's supposed to be funny. But so once you get up, then you still go back. You go back down a little bit, and then the next thing we're going to see is because you have to have that in here, I think, and you have to have Snow Chewy.
Yes.
Okay. We have to have the probe droid.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
So once we see that, that comes up and out, and boom, see that going on, then that's our final stop there. So then the rest of the ride, we're heading back to, to finish it up. So we're cruising around, and then the last one goes around and around and around because we want to make sure.
Oh, very nice.
Oh,
There you go.
cool.
Yeah.
That's
We
an
take the
massive
AT-AT
missed
now.
opportunity, Derek.
See,
Way to
Derek,
go.
you should have thought of that.
Worst place.
But if you had that, it would be the same ride. So there,
Right.
it's good that you didn't think.
I mean, you know,
That's
the one
great.
thing I think it's perfect with the droid, but where I would have put it is when you're at the first stop at the top because of the eagle that
Oh, yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
comes up.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out what I wanted there. I just couldn't come up with anything,
The
and I
droid.
completely forgot about it. I was just so focused on the disco wampa that, like, I just couldn't think. Now, what would you do for a gift shop? Would you do anything different, or would you also sell I am geek shit? Crystals? Sorry.
So
The
I'm the biggest
requirements.
salesman.
props for Ryan. You know, we're going to be selling those as well.
Of
But
course.
we'll also we'll have some costumes in there as well. So we want
Oh, cool.
you know, we want to have snow troopers. You might want to have Han, you know, and his snow gear. You know, maybe a couple of the other cool, you know, if you didn't want to pick a specific character, you know, you can just be, you know,
Generic stuff,
regular
yeah.
officer on Hoth, you know. But once you get into the gift shop as well, it'll be like there you'll see, you know, the Millennium Falcon will be up there with Chewie on top fixing it. You know, you'll see that off in the distance, you know. So I think it'll be cool. And again, for me, I think it would be a lot of the stuff from Empire, you know, because it's going to be like an Empire, obviously.
Well, and it is the best movie ever made.
Yeah,
So.
you know. So, you know, you'll have a lot of that stuff in there in that gift shop. So it'll be sort of oriented towards the Hoth Empire Strikes Back theme. So you know, have some Yoda in there, which is pretty cool, and some other things. So, but yeah, I think it'll be pretty neat to do that. And again, just have those stables in the beginning and jump into the snow speeder and head on down and just see everything as it transpires. But again, those two main things are going to be, you know, Luke hanging, you know, there at that, you know, in the Wampa cave, along with you know, him talking to Ben, you know, and because that's obviously a big part of the movie as well. So
yeah, I think that whole scene or whole part of the movie is what people love a lot about that movie, right? About Empire Strikes Back, and to live that in a ride just makes it awesome, right? That you get to be part of the story, and again, see that the rope go around the AT-AT would be awesome. And
It was
be
a
part
genius
of that.
idea.
So that was a really cool idea. So I like it a lot.
Yeah,
I think it'd be great.
yeah, that was a great idea.
Yeah,
I'm a little mad at myself.
thanks.
I have 3. I can't believe I have 3 Hoth inspired kyber crystals. I just thought about that. I have the fuzzy tauntaun.
okay.
I have the Hoth icebreaker, which is a drink from the Star Cruiser,
Okay,
and I have the ice cave crystal that has the
that's
Luke
right.
Skywalker's lightsaber sticking out of the ice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
But
There
you
you
didn't
go.
choose Hoth tonight.
I didn't because I knew somebody else was going to use it.
I'll let you two fight over who's next.
I mean, it's up to Katrin. I can go or he can go.
I'll go.
Save me for last.
All right. It's a trap. I don't have a ride name for my ride yet, so you'll have to help me with that.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. That's great. Yeah, it kind of. It's good.
Oh,
All right. All right, you ready? I'm going to read my story to you that I've
Ooh,
written.
a story.
So it's
Sit back. Grab
sit
yourself a hot
back
drink.
and grab some cocoa.
Not
All right.
brought to you by Liquid Death.
All right. Welcome to the Imperial Transport System. You've been recruited to support and defend a very important shipment on the planet Vandor. Y'all remember where Vandor is?
It's by Andor.
It's not by Andor. You'll
I
be
don't-
boarding
The
an
van
Imperial.
down by the Andor.
You'll be boarding an Imperial 20T crawler, rail crawler conveyance transport that will allow us to safely move our cargo through the snowy mountainous terrain. Do you know yet? So this is from Solo, where they're transporting the you're part of the transport to move the coaxium.
Yes.
And so, but you're on you're boarding an Imperial transport system, and then the next part, we don't expect any trouble, but you'll also be joined by Imperial range troopers and several Viper probe droids to help defend the transporter from bandits or other threats. This mission is critical to the success of the Empire, as it will provide the energy resources we need to bring peace and extend our control into every planet in the galaxy. With your help, we can ensure that this shipment gets to its destination. The train cars are converted to look like the transporter on the movie. So images of the Empire are added to the queue and the surrounding land, right? So it feels like you're entering that part of the movie. The cast members, of course, are all in Imperial Guards. So you don't know that you're being part of, you think you're being part of this Imperial shipment, right? You don't know anything about Solo necessarily. You don't know that that's what's going to happen. But along the way in the mountains, you start hearing noises from a ship flying in behind the train. It's the AT hauler is what it's called, but it has Beckett and Rio and Han and Chewie are swooping in to try to grab one of the train cars. So some of the train cars are the ones that you're riding in, but there's also some that are maybe digitally there, because at one point you get up to when you get up to the top, the battle's kind of intensifying and things like that, and there's the explosion at the where the track is broken instead of it being torn up.
Yep.
And at that point, your car is essentially disconnected from the others, so you see something go over the edge on the video or something like that, but then you go backwards and you go through the rest of the ride, and you might see videos on the walls like you do in the ride now, and where you see the Cloud Riders come in, the Enfys Nest Cloud Riders, and they're fighting the gang, and they're trying to take one of the cars, so you see that on the screen, and then ultimately you hear they drop the car in the movie, and it explodes, so you kind of hear that happening behind you, this explosion, but you're racing off down the mountain to get away from everything. So you get back, and the mission was sort of a success. You made it. You didn't die, right? But you lost a lot of coaxium. But those opposing the Empire will pay for disrupting this shipment. We hope you'll join us again as we make future deliveries. So they want you to come back. So
Nice.
There you go.
I like that. That was a good twist. I'm a huge Solo fan.
I am too. It's really good.
That was really good, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is rare to have a group of people that all loved Solo. Well, Ryan didn't.
No, I loved it. I mean,
I thought you did.
Yeah, I still don't understand. Well, I know why people had a problem with it. Because if it had came out in any other time in history, everybody would have loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it followed The Last Jedi, people were just like, I have to hate it.
The timing of when it was released, yeah.
And I think that, and then they made their own bad press with having 3 directors and having all of that going on. But Ron Howard saved it. I mean, come on.
Oh, absolutely.
It was good. I watch it not like all the time, because I don't get to watch movies all the time.
Every Friday is on Solo.
Yeah, every Friday is Solo. But I go back to it all the time.
I do too. I probably go back to that and probably Rogue One the most, probably because I haven't seen those as many times as the originals.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, we've all seen all of the other ones so many times, but those two, it's fun to watch them over and over again, because again, you still pick up stuff. Shoot, I picked up something the other day when I was watching Empire, and I didn't realize, and yes, I am a huge fan, but this was really not going to make me look like one. But when they're on Cloud City and Luke gets there and she yells, "It's a trap," and I'm like, I didn't even put that together with Akbar. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So again, I mean, and I've seen that so many times, but there's still stuff that we pick up, all the time, which I think is cool. And and I talked about, I don't know if you guys have read them, A Certain Point of View, the books that have come out.
They're so good.
So good, and they just dive in a little bit more, but they also go to characters that we see, but we really don't know who they are. And you hear what's going on in their mind, whether they're somebody on the Death Star that's helping pull the trigger to blow up this world, or, L3 is in one of them, which is really cool from Solo, and talks about, when she's doing this and talking to R2 and stuff, So I think those are really cool. But Solo for me was great, because again, we knew all those things that happened in it, but we got to see him in live action. We got to see Han meet Chewie. We got to see Han get his surname. we got to see the pod go off of the Millennium Falcon and make it look like the real Millennium Falcon.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
it was such a cool movie.
And we got Amelia Clark.
Yeah. And it was set up. It was set up
right.
perfectly for a second one.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like perfectly. I still want the second one. I left
do
the
too.
movie wanting the second one.
There's talk about it. I mean, there's talk
Yeah.
about everything right now,
Yeah.
which is ridiculous.
I mean-
this one's gonna go, and this one's getting canceled, and then a new one, another cancellation.
I would
but
pay good money to have Donald Glover have his own origin.
There's talks.
movie.
Yeah.
That's what supposedly him and his brother are doing the writing for Solo 2. Story for it, which I think would be pretty cool.
Take my wallet.
Did you
boys.
hear? Did you hear before Solo and stuff? Now I just forgot the guy's name.
Billy Bob Thornton?
He plays.
I'm really bad at guessing games.
He plays Falcon, the new Captain America.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I know who you're
That
talking
guy.
about. I can't think of his name.
Anyways, he
Yeah.
pitched. He pitched a Lando movie
Hmm.
where he would be Lando's brother.
Nope.
So it would be old Billy Dee Williams
Right.
and him teaming up to go on adventures. And he's like, yeah, we're gonna, there'll be Wookiees there and all this stuff. And like he went through the whole deal, and I was like, that'd have been sort of fun.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Billy just he can't do it anymore.
Well, yeah, but this was like, this is
Oh, I thought you meant like recently.
2 years
It's not
ago.
like he's old.
no. This was before Solo. This was before this is
Yeah.
when he pitched the idea.
Okay.
Yeah. But I would love another Solo movie. I mean, they're supposedly they're doing something with Glover's Lando, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they're
keep hearing
talking that too, to have him a Lando movie, which would be
Yeah.
awesome too.
Hey,
Oh yeah.
hey, at least somebody lost control of the creative power for now.
For now.
We'll see. That'll probably rear its ugly head up somewhere, but we'll figure that out later.
Yeah. All right. So are we ready for?
man,
I was
we're
born ready.
Oh man.
Oh,
This
Here we
is
go.
going to be let's see how many names and places Ryan can mispronounce while saying this, and you guys, I mispronounce all the Star Wars stuff.
you can't say him right, nerd.
I know I can't. I'm not a nerd. I'm dumb. I don't read very good.
Okay.
It's okay.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Yeah, that's how I read basically.
Perfect timing.
All right, so so I was thinking about this. I'm like, I didn't want to do Hoth. I want to do something different. Then I'm like, well, Bob Iger's still in charge, so
Cold.
if I'm gonna have to make it. I'm gonna have to reuse stuff because you can't make it that expensive because then he won't greenlight it. I'm just kidding. But mine's gonna take place during the Clone Wars era. Okay. And it's gonna be Expedition. We're just gonna keep the Expedition because that's money we can use somewhere else. We can just use Expedition. If I mispronounce this planet's name, then it's because I don't know how to read. But it's Alum, yeah, the Kyber Crystal planet. Yeah, okay.
Sure.
You never know.
All right.
Expedition Alum.
You said it wrong. That's why I didn't know.
I don't know how to say it. I always just read it like that.
It's fine. Yep.
Katrin gave me the thumbs up. All right, so this is the planet where Jedi Padawans go to find their Kyber crystal. We saw it many times through animated series. So here's it's Clone Wars era. A group of Padawans have become stranded on the planet. No one's heard from them. They don't know what's going on. They went there for their trials, and they've disappeared. So the Jedi send their two best to find them. They send Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker on a journey to the planet to figure out what is going on and what has happened to this group of Padawans. So when you get to the line, if you've been there before, the line sort of weaves around and you're going to in the middle of the line.
I haven't been there.
Alum.
I haven't been there. Have you?
No, the ride at Animal Kingdom.
Oh, now I get it.
It sort of weaves around, but so in the center there's like a big statue or something there right now. But now when you get there, there's going to be this Jedi like ship there, a transporter that transported all the younglings there. are you're gonna see it there in the middle, and you're going to be like, what happened? What's going on? You're gonna see weird animal prints, like footprints all over the place in the ground. You're gonna see all this, crazy. You're gonna see claw marks, like what's going on. So we're gonna use the same technologies that they use on Rise of the Resistance and the Harry Potter rides, where you can have the characters right there in front of you and it looks like they're there. So it's sort of like a hologram.
Yeah.
But really, it's not really a hologram, but it looks like it. But I want it to be lifelike. So when you get to this one section in line, you're going to meet Obi-Wan and Anakin. They're going to walk on and being, like talking, and they're just going to be talking, and then they're going to look. Yeah, just like that. They're going to be talking about like what's going on and sort of, joking back and forth. And then they're going to see us and then be like, okay, well, what are you doing here? You're going to come along with us because you can't go back now because it's too dangerous. They're going to go next room. You're going to board the shuttle. It's going to take us up the mountain. We'll be right there with you in the shuttle. So don't worry about it. We're coming with you. So you board, you're going up. There's comms in each car, so you can hear them sort of chatting back and forth, talking.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get to the wind around, get to the top where you come to a stop. There's been a cave in or something. So instead of, because it's Star Wars, there's not going to be like train tracks. So there's going to be like the mountain sort of caved in. We can't go any further. And then you're going to hear Obi-Wan say, well, I guess we're going backwards. And as soon as he says that, you shoot backwards. You wind around. So if you're familiar with the ride, you wind around to this scene where you see a Yeti come out and he sort of rips with the tracks.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of that,
the projection.
Yeah, the projection. So instead of that projection, you're going to have that technology again. Obi-Wan and Anakin are going to walk out on the like a ledge there, and Obi-Wan's going to go, "We're smarter than this. What's going on here? This is ridiculous." And then Anakin's going to be like, "I got this. Just follow me." And he's like, "No, we do this together." And then they disappear. As soon as they disappear off the screen, you shoot forward. You go around. You go through these caves. You see kyber crystals everywhere on the walls and stuff where they haven't been dug out. And then we get around to the corner and we see the Gorgodon. Oh, cool. Which is basically, there it is. That's the Gorgodon.
Oh.
So if you're watching on YouTube, this is the creature that lives in the mountains there.
And if you're listening on a podcast, it's still a creature that lives.
Yeah. I thought, what creature can we do that sort of looks like the creature that's already there, so Iger doesn't have to spend more money? And there you go. This is like an actual reptile that's covered in fur. He's got rows and rows of teeth, as you can see, larger than life. So we're going to round the thing, and you're going to see, when you round the thing, you're going to see the all the Padawans like in this like cage type thing, and then you're going to see Anakin and Obi-Wan swinging around and fighting this dude as he's reaching out for the cars as you go around. And then you'll zip down through there, whip around, and then when you get to the end and you're pulling in the station, there'll be another hologram thing, and then it'll be Anakin and Obi-Wan. They're like, wow, that was a close one, and they got the Padawans, and the Padawans are running off. And then that's how you end the ride, from battling the Gorgodon.
And since on the planet that you get your kyber crystal,
you're going to have a kyber crystal shop. But there's going to be a cool thing in there where you can mine for your own kyber crystals.
Ooh.
So like those places that kids go and you can like dig and stuff.
Like you sift it.
Pan for gold.
Yeah, you can like dig. Like in the Animal Kingdom in the dinosaur area, the kids can go and search for dinosaur bones. Well,
like
here
Branson, Missouri.
They can dig for kyber crystals. And then, of course, I Am Geek Shop will be there.
Yes.
And if Bob Iger's listening to this, I don't hate you like Ryan does. I
don't hate him. He just...
You were really excited when he came back.
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I was not.
Sure you were.
Oh, no. I'm the guy, and you can probably look back on my post. Like, I'm the guy that, like, when he came back, everybody's cheering. I'm like, are you sure about this?
I was using sarcasm.
Yeah. I was like, I don't think this is going to end how you think it's going to end.
That what that was. No, Ron's always so nice. And Ryan, that was awesome, actually, by the way.
Yes.
Sorry. I didn't mean to
Oh,
derail
did you like it,
Yeah, that's
Billy?
a full
Yeah,
twist. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And you
I
know,
did.
and it's a good way that we can get Matt and James to come back and do the voice.
Yes.
It's a perfect
Yes.
opportunity. So
We need them both on.
yes,
Heck, let's
show?
get the whole cast.
I think we should. Well, you know, now that James is done with his movie is like out,
Yeah.
I think that maybe we could probably work it out.
Cool. That'd be
I'll give him
awesome.
a call. We'll see what we can do. So James, come on back.
Come
Yes.
Bring your
We know
friends.
you're-
Bring your friends.
Bring your
Bring
friends.
Ashley. Bring them all.
Yeah.
But I think I would ride any of these rides.
Yes.
I thought they were all good.
Yeah. I think it was very different. Everybody
Yeah.
was very different, but also I like how we all utilized the ride track the same way. Like or
Yeah.
the way that it's there now. Like
Yeah.
no one just blew it up and did something completely different.
Yeah. You know, that's one of my rules, personal rules for the show.
Well,
I don't level an attraction. I use what's there.
Yeah, but we've
And-
changed a lot. Like we've changed
Yeah.
rooms and added things where this one I felt like we all really kind of
Just
stayed.
slap
the
on
track.
a different car, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause sometimes you just need a good roller coaster.
Different interior and stuff like that. And that's what I did. I went and watched it, you know, just to sort of see. And then that's where I sort of planned around, like you said, just sort of adding into the Expedition Everest. Let's put more Hoth stuff on there, you know, and like you said, that staging area. And then once you get in, you know, it's all different things. But yeah, I think that's cool. I think we all did that. And I love the Clone Wars take, you know,
Yeah.
along with the solo. I mean, because again, yeah, and it is obvious, you know, I thought it was obvious what me and Derek did, you know, because it is, it's historical, it's classic, but I really like the solo and the Clone Wars thing because again, they're both something that are very intricate in this universe, you know, and the Clone Wars as we continue to go with, you know, Bad Batch 3 coming out, you know, it's just building and building, you know, and same with Ahsoka. Bringing that live action Clone Wars stuff. I mean, how amazing was that to see Rex and stuff? You know, it was just so
like,
cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
a little weepy. You know?
Yeah. So here's the real question. Out of all our 4 rides, which one will go into B mode first and stay there?
Mine. Of course.
Okay, wait a minute. What's B mode?
So in the ride itself, the Expedition Everest, there is a big Yeti. And the Yeti, when it first opened, moved around, swooped down to try to grab your car and stuff. It broke. So now
it didn't break. It works. The problem is they didn't make the structure of the ride strong enough, and it was actually ripping apart.
Yeah, that's why I say broke.
Well,
You can't use it. You can't, but you can't use it.
You can.
Well, then the whole ride falls apart. Anyway, so now they put a strobe light on it. There's a strobe light on it, and it just sits
Yeti.
Artificial movement.
Yeah, so it's Disco Yeti is what people call him now, because it's just a strobe light with the Yeti standing there. But I remember riding it when it first opened, and it was the coolest thing. It was like his arm came down at you. I mean, the thing is huge. It's huge, but they say that it's too much money to fix the structure, so they're just going to leave it in B mode for.
They don't have any money. I don't have any money there.
Don't have any money. Well, I think the biggest issue is that Animal Kingdom does not have enough attractions. And because I saw another interview that Joe Rohde did, and he's like, you would have to take the whole ride apart. You had to take the whole building apart, like all of the mountain. You have to take it all apart. And could they do it? Yeah. But like, you're talking like, well, Disney speed right now, it's like 3 years. It took 4 years for him to build a walkway with a garden that looks like. We're gonna leave it at that. So you know, things like that, and I am pretty shocked at how fast they're moving on Tiana's adventure, though. Like,
yeah, sure.
I mean the outside looks vastly different.
Yeah,
I don't even know who that is.
So Splash Mountain,
old
how
Splash Mountain.
they
With Tiana
are replacing Splash Mountain with Princess and the Frog.
I love that Ron is a Star Wars guy and not a Disney park.
Not a Disney guy.
It's great.
I love Disney. I love going there. I think it's great. It's clean. Obviously, it's very expensive, but again, it's worth it. I think because it's cool. Everybody's friendly, and we have all about the Star Wars stuff too. Oh, the one thing I was going to do, and I forgot to write it down, I'm going to take that AT-AT from Star Tours, and we're going to move that in front of Expedition
cool.
Everest. Okay.
There you
Now
go.
that's good.
Yeah.
I like that. Ron, you've been to Celebration just once, or how many times have you been to Celebration?
I've been to actually all of them except England.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Remind
Not
me.
the first, not the first two. I started with 5. I think I've been to 5 or 6.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
And which one do you
they're
think was the best one?
honestly, for me, my first one. That's the one I remember the most. Lisa went with me one time. My dad went with me. My brother went with me, which was cool. Yeah, I think the first one, because that's the one, and I've had except for Chicago, I've had the VIP or the Jedi Master thing or whatever it is, the special pass. And the first year that I went, I got to, I mean, it was Clone Wars was just starting. So, when the package that you get, we had this own little room and everything, and people would come in, during the day, and they'd have little seminars in there with us. And Filoni was one of them. Peter Mayhew came in, and there was like 12 of us sitting around Filoni, and he drew these little things and gave us posters and stuff like that, which was really cool. And at that time, there was only 50 of these VIP packages. There was 250 of the Jedi Knight and 50 of the Jedi Masters. And so, I mean, we could get in early, we could stay late, we could jump all the lines. We got in the first 2 rows of all of the panels, even the main beginning panel and end panel, which was great. I actually got to see Anthony Daniels on the floor, took a selfie, instead of paying $40 to have his picture and wait in line, which was cool. So yeah, it's just, I'm super excited. I really want to do the Japan one, but I think when they come back, because I don't know if they'll do 26. I'm hoping they'll do 27, because that's going to be 50 years for A New Hope, which is just going to be amazing. I think, I think they can do a lot with it. And I think we're going to have a lot more to talk about at that point too, because again, these new movies and some of the new live action is going to be coming out. We'll have the 2 series that are coming out. They're all the live action on Disney Plus, correct? The Skeleton Crew and
Acolyte.
Yeah. So they'll all be there. So, that'll stuff will be out this year, but I think with the new movie and stuff coming out, that should be really cool. And again, Heir to the Empire, if Dave does that movie, I'm interested to see, and they just said it was getting canceled, but again, it's every day it's something different. But the new Rey movie, yeah, I know we're all not huge fans of it, but again, for me, some of that stuff me and Derek were talking about, the look of those movies were phenomenal. The Easter eggs in those movies, for me, the Emperor's chair, and the AT-AT that she's sitting eating in the first, the prequel or the last 3. That was cool for me. Some of the stories, I wasn't a huge fan of some of the stuff that went on, but it's out there. There's nothing we can do about it. So I enjoyed it as much as I could. And those were the things that really got me into those, to enjoy them.
Yeah. I mean, I liked all the characters from the new movies. Most of them. I liked Rey. I liked Finn. I liked Poe. Kylo Ren. I mean,
Rose.
Oh, well, I'm at the main character.
I mean, she derailed the whole movie.
Well, I think there's a director, but I would love to
care for her either. So
I would love to see more Rey. But what has me worried is the stuff that the director said and everything. I'm just like, can we just make Star Wars? Because we know when you just make Star Wars, it works. It works, and people will see it.
Well,
but when you have an agenda,
the prequels didn't work. I mean, they worked. They sold well.
I mean now, like Mandalorian,
people didn't respect them as much until later.
Yeah, I mean Mandalorian, Ahsoka, it's worked. Even Andor, I mean it's had a slow start, but it worked.
I loved Andor.
But when they come, that's what makes me what upsets me was when they come out, instead of saying, "Hey, we're making this cool movie. It's going to be Rey's journey. It's going to be awesome." Instead of coming out with that, and they say, "Hey, you know what? We like to make people feel uncomfortable, and I'm going to do that in this movie." Oh yeah, raising it too. You know, that's where I'm like, I don't want to see that. And you're going to bomb and you're going to lose millions because you're coming with that stuff first and Star Wars second. That's what I don't like. And that's what they did. I mean, that's what Ryan Johnson did. He said, "I'm making a Star Wars movie I like. I don't really care about the fans."
Yeah.
So when you do that, it's gonna bomb. But if you say, "Hey, we're making a Star Wars movie for Star Wars fans," Mandalorian, Ahsoka, Rebels, I mean, everything, we eat it up and we love it and we
I think
spend
if Dave,
tons of money on it.
well, I think if Dave has that creative power, even with the Ray movie, I think he'll
Yeah.
have to hopefully put his 2 cents in,
I hope so.
you know, and be like, hey, listen, no, we're not going to go in this direction. Let's sort of keep it, you know, here, going this way. So hopefully he'll do that. I think that'll be a good thing. I think that's a great promotion. Obviously, unfortunately, Kathleen's still there, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. You know, with John doing the Mandalorian and Grogu movie,
Yeah.
that
So
should be
good.
epic.
Yeah.
You know, should be so good. So that'll be fun. And I think they are trying to take it in a different direction. I mean, you get on some of these podcasts and people are just bashing everything, and it's like, come on, you know.
Yeah,
You're
if
not
they
gonna
always
be
do
a
the
lot
same
better.
thing, people are going to complain too. It's like, no, like most people say, and I definitely say it all the time. No one hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans.
Yeah. But I've liked even Book of Boba Fett. I loved it. Most
I-
people didn't like it.
I really
loved
liked it too. I liked
liked it
all
a
the
lot.
series. I even liked
Caitlin's like,
Obi-Wan.
oh, I loved Obi-Wan. Oh,
Yeah,
I loved
Obi-Wan.
it.
No, that was my favorite. Other than
Oh,
live
yeah.
action, for
Oh, yeah.
me,
So
that was
good.
my favorite. You know, I love the twist with Leia. I thought that was great. You know, and the scenes with him, you know, in Anakin were just like Derek said, oh my God. You know,
Yeah.
it was so good, you know. For me, because again, like I said, almost like the Solo movie, we got to see some cool little Easter eggs and stuff like that throughout that, and see what, you know, Ben had to go through. And I love that the Clone Wars and Rebels and all this stuff are bringing all these things into, but just to see them live and in action, you know, because we were talking, I think Derek and I were talking about this as well, you know, with some of the new stuff people were bitching about, you know, yeah, like the live action Cad Bane and stuff like that, the way he looked. But when I had Chris Bartlett on, he said that, I think it was Filoni or John said, you know those are the real things right there. The animation is what we're doing just to put some stuff out, but the look of Cad Bane is what Cad Bane would look like in real life, you know, and they fixed it a little bit differently, you know, in the animation. So I thought that sort of made sense, because again, you get that live thing, you know. I'm going to look different you know, Darth Vader looks different in live action than he does in the animation, you know. So I thought that was a cool explanation, because you know, a lot of people were trying to bash some of the costumes and stuff like that, you know. The biker kids, yeah, we should have had some bounty hunters in Boba Fett. That would have been cool, you know, to bring Bosk or something like that instead of the kids and the bikes.
Yeah. I like the
bikes.
I like the bikes because it's they used artwork.
I
Old
just wish they
artwork
would
to
have
make
made the
those.
scene faster. That's the only, for me, they could have kept the bikes.
Like when they put the bikes on, I was like, oh, I know what those bikes are from. That's so cool.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, what are these dumb things? I'm like, no. It's from original artwork. It's really cool.
Yeah.
So before we let you go, I have one question to ask, since you've been to Celebration a bunch.
Yes.
Do you cosplay when you go?
I do not. I do not.
Oh,
I did have a Jedi.
You would make the perfect Captain Rex.
Dude, you didn't. I didn't even think of it. Now I can't see anything else.
That'd be cool.
Captain
Even
Ron.
a Duke. You could do Dooku.
Oh my God, you could be Captain Ron. Do you remember that movie?
Oh yes, I watched that movie so much.
No.
I mean, dude, you would make a really cool Captain Rex.
But I get rid of this in a few months. I'll take
don't get rid of that.
Started growing it in October, and I grow it and take it off every year.
Yeah.
Have
summertime. He's a touring guy, so he can't have that in the summer.
That's true.
It's way too hot.
It gets hot. So have you guys been to Celebration at all?
I've been in Orlando.
Okay.
I have
Twice. Have they been there? I think I've been there twice in Orlando.
Now I was gonna go with Ron, but I had to bail because of work. Of course.
I went there. The first time I went was my first convention con was a Celebration.
Nice.
And so I didn't know anything about it. Like I'd never been before, but I'd been a Star Wars fan and I won tickets to it.
Oh, nice.
Like off the radio. Remember the radio?
So that Ratty?
Yeah, the radio a long time ago. Won tickets off the radio. And so I don't know anything about it. I didn't know that, about autographs and stuff. And I was walking along and I see Peter Mayhew sitting at a table. Just sitting there by himself. Nobody around him.
There, he's taller than you.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, that's Chewbacca. And I'm like, and I'm a shy guy. Like it takes me a while to get to know people and stuff. And I'm like, this is my chance. I've got to go say hello. So I walk over and put my hand out and go, Mr. Mayhew, it's such a pleasure to meet you. And as I'm putting my hand out, this other hand comes in. Excuse me. Where's your ticket? And I'm like, what? You have to have a ticket for autographs. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I just saw him and I was like, and Peter Mayhew already had his hand out. Like he was going to shake my hand and he's just sitting there like, oh, sorry. And so they like rushed me off and I'm like, I didn't know I was supposed to buy an extra ticket.
And then they beat him up by the dumpster and
so
he took his lunch money.
That was my brush with Peter. It was just a almost handshake.
Well, I'm going to Celebration in Japan because it's going to be like my 40th birthday. So that's my wife was already like, this is what you're going to do. And my dream bucket list is to go to Japan and then go to Tokyo Disney and Disney Sea because Disney Sea is like rated the best park in the world.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So I'll get Japan, Star Wars, and Disney in one, like my 3 favorite things ever. Maybe I could do like something special for the podcast while I'm there.
Yeah.
Unless you guys get tired of me by then. A little ways out. Ryan's like, nope, you're stuck.
Here. It's your contract. You signed it. You didn't know.
I would do that if when it comes back here to the States, because I think there is a spot where you can pay to take your podcast there and do it live right there. I think that would be cool.
It would be pretty
cool.
cool.
I wouldn't want to take all my stuff over there. I'd want to obviously enjoy, that, but I think that would be cool to do that once it comes back to the States,
Totally.
Speaking of, this will be our plug for the night, and then we'll wrap up since we're talking about conventions. This coming October, I don't have the exact dates on me. There's going to be a brand new convention that has been started by some friends of mine. It's going to be Halcy-con, and it's going to be a Galactic Star Cruiser convention that's going to be held in Orlando. So listeners, watchers, if you've been on the Halcyon or you wanted to go, but you didn't get to go, it's going to be totally focused on Star Cruiser. I'm hoping to be there to help them out with stuff and check that out.
Is it the Wyndham, I think, is where it's at?
Yeah, it's going to be at the Wyndham. I think it's in the Celebration area. So just right by Disney World.
Mm-hmm.
It's Heroes of the Halcyon is their podcast. Great guys. One of them's been on here before. The rest of them want to come on here. Check it out. Heroes of the Halcyon. Halcy-con. You can follow them on Instagram. They have a page for it. So if you like conventions and you like Star Wars, it should be a fun time. And it's going to be the first time doing it. So it's going to be smaller. So you'll get to meet a lot of people and hang out with a lot of people from the Star Cruiser. So there's my plug tonight.
Cool. Anyways, let's go.
Yeah. I will be there. Katrin, Derek, you guys are invited. There's even talks maybe bringing the show to the convention. So we've been talking about it. Nothing confirmed yet for that, but
even if I haven't been, even if I didn't go,
of course.
Do you know what the dates are in October?
I could tell you,
but then he'd have to kill you.
Early, I think, in October. Maybe that first weekend. I can't remember.
4 or 5 or something like that.
I think so.
It is.
Seems right. But it's cool because it's like you're playing Star Wars there, and it's most conventions that you go to that are generic conventions. It's whatever you get Trekkies and Star Wars and all that, but it's just Star Wars, like Celebration. But
and that's
cool specifically for the ship.
Yeah, that's neat. Yeah, I bet Paul and TJ will probably come down.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be there because they were talking about having tattoo stations set up. So I'm like, I bet I know. I bet I know who they're going to get it to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, they do that at Celebration too. They have the whole tattoo area there. Which the first year I was there, I won actually best overall tattoo, which was pretty cool too.
Ooh, nice.
And then the second weekend I won for large, or the second year I won for large color.
Yeah, so I
haven't seen that since it's been you gotta get that elbow down, buddy.
Oh, the elbow's done. That's the end of the Death Star.
October 4th.
Yeah, but the pit was just
the ditch.
The worst. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And then I'm starting this arm. You haven't seen. I hate mirrored cameras. I can't do it.
Right.
I'm like trying to get in frame. I cannot get it this way. There we go, Derek.
There you go.
I have Darth Maul, Donald Duck, and I'm taking the toys that they had released, and I'm gonna have Darth Vader Mickey. I haven't decided on Goofy. If Goofy is going to be Jar Jar or Cad Bane. I think it's probably gonna be Cad Bane. Pete is gonna be Boba Fett. Daisy is just gonna be a stormtrooper, but she was. Oh, you've got her in Ron. You've got her right behind you.
Leia Sakura? Or I mean,
no, other side. Yeah.
Or a Sting.
Yeah, that one. That's who they had her, but I don't have a good enough connection. So I'm still like kind of figuring out everybody. Like Chip and Dale will be Ewoks. And it'll be fun. Be a nice sleeve of Disney and Star Wars.
October 4th through the 5th. For those who want to know, it's
okay, 4th and 5th. Cool. I'm actually off.
We're
done.
Yeah, let's all go. It'll be fun.
Oh, I'll definitely try to get down there for sure.
They'll have rooms at the hotel that they have a room block. So if we get a bunch together, split a room, cut down on cost.
We could always stay at the Airbnb. We didn't even have Logan pitch that last time.
Yes.
So Logan Seculo was on the last episode, and he has a house down in Orlando. It's like all kinds of different themes, and he's not asking me to say this. I'm just saying it because it's awesome. And it's very affordable.
Airbnb.
The
cool.
Airbnb.
All right. Well, Ron, thank you so much for coming on. You're welcome back anytime.
Thank you, guys.
If you want some Star Wars guy to talk about kyber crystals on your show, give me a call. I'd be happy to come on and talk Star Wars.
All right.
I love it. And Katrin would come on and talk Star Wars.
Sure, yeah.
Sure. Go on.
All three of you. I mean, Derek's been on, but I like him enough to have him on another time.
Ooh, all right. That's more than most people will say.
But yeah, and again, it's just we can pick something, but again, we just sit and we chat about it, just like we've been doing here a little bit. Just pick something, or maybe even deep dive a little bit differently into something else. And I always have some cool questions and stuff that I'll throw at you guys, and give me different answers and stuff towards the end. And it's just sort of neat to see who, what things everybody likes and in this universe, because again, that's what's bringing us together, which I think is really cool. And that's what I'm having fun doing, is just talking Star Wars like this with you guys, and making things up for like these rides, but also being able to talk about this universe that George has brought us, and just what a great time it is. So thank you guys so much for having me on here.
Yeah, thank you.
And people can find you at where can people find you so they know?
People can find me at Star Wars Jedi Chat on YouTube anytime. We do every 2 weeks we do a podcast, and we have some actors and actresses on there, along with guys like yourself and Derek, just to talk Star Wars and have a good time, and all the new stuff that's coming out, which is really cool. Again, maybe even after one of these new ones comes out, we'll do that. Look at Bad Batch 3, or I think that probably is going to be the first one out of the three main things coming out this year. Will probably be Bad Batch, I'm guessing. We don't have any dates on any of this stuff, because the strike sort of messed everything up. So sorry, I'm talking. We're going.
That's okay.
That's okay. It's all good.
But yeah, Star Wars Jedi Chat on YouTube. Come on, check it out and subscribe and like it. And again, thank you guys for having me on here. Had a great time, and just a fun time, just looking stuff up and and figuring out what ride I wanted to make up too. So that was sort of fun.
Well, thank you for coming on. And I guess we'll be back in 2 weeks with a new episode. What will we be Star Warsifying? Who knows?
We
No,
know.
we don't even-
We
Oh,
have
we
it
know?
planned. Yeah.
Oh, we
wait,
have it
we did?
planned.
We have it planned. The next episode is planned. Do we want to say what it is?
Oh, is it with Brian?
It is with Brian.
Oh, okay.
Let's say it. Come on.
So
I
it's
want to know.
Tom Sawyer Island,
Oh,
Yeah, that's right. Ryan's
So-
like, oh,
which
Oh,
is
first I've heard of it,
amazing.
even though you're
It's
in the
going to
group
be
chat.
really cool. That's it's going to be so deep, right? Because it's there's so many different areas and aspects of that land or that area of the park there that you can really get deep into. And he said he has all these drawings and plans.
Oh.
He's ready.
Oh yeah,
for it,
he's
so
like
he's
all
been
about
prepared
it.
for this one.
I was texting him earlier today too because he's going down to Orlando right now. That's why he was going to do this week originally.
That's right. Yeah.
And he's excited. He's very excited. I was kind of thinking like we should just let him run. Just let him almost like have the episode where like we can kind of add stuff in. I don't know. We'll talk about it. It'll be fun. We'll see. I don't know what's gonna happen.
We don't know. So you don't know. So stay tuned. Come back.
That's right. Come back and figure it out on Tom Sawyer Island.
Episode 20 of
Big
Living
2-0.
with the
Big 2-0.
Speeder.
All right. Make sure you like, share, tell all your friends.
Tell all your enemies.
Yeah, just tell everybody.
Tell
If
everybody.
they like Star Wars, and they like Disney, they'll love Living with the Landspeeder. And we'll see you next time on Living with the Landspeeder.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Go.